There's gotta be some kind of truth in what I'm saying.
All right, we are live. Well, welcome to Whiskey, Weights and Whey. I'm Chuck. Today I've got Tyler Davis. Well, I don't have him. He's having me in his house.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
I appreciate you letting me come over and raid your whiskey collection.
You're always welcome, Chuck.
Well, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure you all do, Tyler Davis is what now? Two-time?
I'm going to say, well, three-time.
Three-time.
We did just recently win the 105 World's Strongest Nation competition.
Oh, yeah, you're part of that team.
Was a team competition, so I think that counts.
You're still part of the championship.
So I got an OSG win, Ultimate win, and then I got Ultimate's World's Strongest Nation win. So I've won 3 world championships.
That's awesome.
One being part of a team. So Team USA, which was really awesome. That was there was a guy, Zach McCarley from Washington. We had Derek Owens, who's another 90 kilogram guy from Texas. And then we had Johnny Cisco. He's from New Jersey, and Johnny is like 49 years old. So we had a veteran, old guy on the team, 49 years old, and then we had 2 guys who were 90 kilogram, who were way undersized compared to a lot of the other nations with the guys that they fielded, and we were able to still come out with the win. So
that's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, we'll have to get more into that. It was a really fun story. So yeah,
well, before we get too far into it, let's pour a little something. What would you like to drink?
All right, I think we should start with the nicest one first. I think the most expensive thing we got here is probably this Henry McKenna, aged 10 years. This is a special.
Nah, I feel guilty drinking this one, so I'm going to let you pour it because I don't want to over-pour.
So I have a friend, CJ Gasson. He's an interventional radiologist. I went to college with him. I went to business school, and he went on to become an interventional radiologist. And he's actually my daughter's godfather.
Oh.
So he's a very important part of my life. He's one of my best friends. And he loves to buy me nice bottles of bourbon. So he's a very good friend now. So anyways, I will share some of this one with you.
I say that's a very good friend. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, man, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
You got the real whiskey sipping glasses. I've got a couple of these. We just haven't broke them out. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get you one with your logo on it. So you can get your logo put right there.
I've got this logo. It's a peel and stick transfer sticker, and that was just a little too big for this. It wouldn't fit the curve, so I got to get me a smaller one of that to do. But
yeah,
we got them on our tall pint glasses that we use. Well, let's get comfortable because we got a lot we need to talk about. You've done a lot recently, and you got a lot more coming up.
Yeah, let me tell you about. I guess I'll tell you about the year. What I planned for this year.
Yeah.
So my goal going into 2024 was to do the 4 hardest shows for a 90 kilogram athlete. I love weight class strongmen, so I'm trying to. And I think weight class strongmen, what it really needs are like a character that will actually stay in that weight class and build a reputation in that weight class. Mm-hmm. So when you think of 90 kilogram men, you think, oh, Tyler Davis, he's the top guy. And so you need that person to come back every year to that weight class and build your legacy amongst that weight class. The same for 64 kilogram women need that. And the 105 kilogram men, you're thinking Nick Canby, although now he's moved up to heavyweight.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people they keep rising up in the classes.
Yeah. What happens is a lot of times guys get tired of making the weight cut.
Yeah.
As you do the sport longer, you keep adding on a little muscle, you keep trying things and you gain a little weight and you don't want to do those weight cuts. You move up to the next weight class. And for me, I try to be disciplined, try to stay at the right weight to make the water cut. I stay around 212 so I can cut down to 198. And I think I'm kind of fine tuning things. I think I get better each year.
Yeah, it's amazing. Looking in the camera, we're technically the same size. We are not, though.
5'9", 212 pounds.
5'10", 215. Technically, I'm bigger than you.
But going into the 2024, my goal was I want to do as many world championships as possible. I really put myself out there, be tenacious. And so the 4 that I identified as the toughest, that has the most, and I would pick competitions that have the hardest, the people who I feel like are the most challenging. Mm-hmm. I would pick Ultimate. So Ultimate World Championships, which I just finished in Germany. That one's cool because you get to go against some Eastern Europeans. Yeah, so I won.
Yeah.
So I won Ultimate. That's the one in the middle. I won that in Paris, France, in 2022. I didn't do it in 2023, but I just came back in 2024, and I came in second place.
Okay.
So of the 4 World Championships I've identified, I finished 1 so far, and I came in second for my weight class. Now we did do the team comp, and we came in first. I'll talk more about that. That was a blast. The World's Strongest Nation is his medal. It came in first place. That's probably the most fun competition I've ever done, of any competition.
That's awesome.
Which is cool. But after Ultimate, the next World Championship that I think is the toughest of our weight class is Chaos Classic. And I'm doing that. I fly out Wednesday to go to Preston, England, and I'll compete at Kaos Classic. And that is billed as the heaviest 64 kilogram women's show and the heaviest 90 kilogram men's show of all time.
Really?
So we have a 905 pound yoke we have to carry. This is, 198 pound men carry 905 pound yoke. You got deadlifts that are going to be a 750 pound deadlift bar, and I think it's 640. And you can pick which one you want to do. So I gotta be able to get that 750, which we saw tonight. I hit it twice, so I'm in good shape.
You had more in you too.
I may can get 3 at the comp. We'll see. Then it's got 330 pound farmer's handles. It's going to be a max axle. There's 2 sandbag carried down, and then a really, really heavy sled dragged back. The last event, instead of stones, it's going to be like doing stones, but with sandbags.
Okay.
We'll put sandbags over a bar. Kind of like
just load it over a bar.
Yeah, kind of like you're doing a stone medley.
Okay.
Or, like the Atlas stones at the end of OSG.
Yeah.
It's like that, but with sandbags.
Okay.
And those are pretty. I think it goes up to like 354. It's the last sandbag. So I mean that's pretty stout sandbag for our weight class. So yes, it's a heavy competition, and that one you get lots of good people from Great Britain. There's lots of really good 90 kilogram strongmen from Great Britain, like Dan Benson will be there. You got there's just so many. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I get to go against those guys. So I went to get against the Eastern Europeans for Ultimate. And then for this one, I'm going against more like the Western Europeans. There'll be a few Eastern Europeans that still show up there.
Because you were 2022 was France, and then 24 was Germany.
Yeah, so it's the same competition. They just changed locations. They went from Paris, France, to Germany. Now, usually Ultimate World Championships is in Ukraine.
Really?
But ever since the war started, they've had to choose different locations. So the first year, I think after the war, they did Paris. And then the last 2 years, they've done Germany.
Okay, so it was in Germany last year?
Yeah. And then, so after Chaos, the next big one for weight class strongman is Pro Strongman League.
Gotcha.
With Tyler Perdue. He's doing a great job. And there'll be the 64 kilogram women and 90 kilogram men go October 5th. And that'll be in Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah, but our buddy's going this weekend to do the 80.
Yeah, Jeremy Shell. Yeah, he's going to do real good.
There was a small chance that I was going to go with him.
Yeah.
Which would have meant if I would have been leaving at midnight tonight after doing this with you, driving all the way to Atlanta to hop on a plane at like 9 a.m. their time. It didn't work out. I still got to do some store visits tomorrow.
Well, I haven't done Pro Strongman League, but I did Clash. Back before Tyler Perdue was helping with Clash, and I came in third. That's like this little alligators. They gave me an alligator skull. It was kind of weird.
You got some very interesting trophies up there. What's the crown over there?
That was given to me by Tyler Haynes.
Oh,
he is an amateur blacksmith.
Yeah, he
makes some neat stuff, and he told me I was king of the 90s and made me a crown.
That's pretty cool.
And it's really badass. I love it. Actually, I could get it down.
If we were doing this live, he might be watching.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It looks very, like, archaic, and it's actually got, like, some rust on it now.
That's awesome.
Looks like something you'd find
it's got some
like
weight to it, too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have a strong neck to wear that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It fits pretty good. Let's see. Look at that.
There you go.
King of the 90s, baby. I just wear this.
You did wear that red, yeah. The more we drink, I might end up wearing it.
So where was I? So Pro Strongman League. Yeah, I did. So I did Clash, came in third. So I've been wanting to go back to do that one. to see if I could get a win at Pro Strongman League. Last year, Jim Mitchell won it. Jim Mitchell, I feel like, of all the other 90-kilogram strongman athletes, Jim, I think he's from Missouri. I feel like he's very similar to me. And
I
that
just haven't recognized that name.
he's very well-rounded.
Okay.
So, like me, one of the keys to my success is not having a weak event and being a top guy at every event.
Yeah.
And Jim Mitchell's a lot like that way. So me and him is, I think I beat him a couple of times. He actually beat me at Chaos last year.
Really?
But I would love to go against him
Who was
at Pro Strongman League and see if I can get him.
Who was the podium last year at Chaos?
The podium last year
I'm blanking
was
on
Dan Benson
mm-hmm.
and then Nick O'Hare.
Nick O'Hare. That was the one I was.
And then John Hack.
John Hack was the one I was
Came
thinking.
third.
Because he's not a typical strongman, right?
Oh.
Like he's
a world champion powerlifter.
Yeah, he just came out of nowhere.
He can powerlift, like deadlift over 900 pounds. Yeah, as a 90-kilogram guy.
And just shows up in podiums at one of the.
Well, he trained for it though.
Okay.
He didn't just show up like I'm a power lifter. I'm gonna see what I can do. He spent months getting ready, and he did really good. Like I was really surprised. I mean, I was kind of surprised, but kind of not, because he's a good athlete. Yeah. And he's obviously very strong, and I think he took it seriously. And he knew he was in for a challenge, and so he ended up coming in third. I think I beat him on the overhead press and like the bag carry for distance.
I didn't get to watch the whole thing.
He beat me on deadlift.
Didn't y'all have a what's it called? I'm blanking right now. I'm still distracted about the good whiskey. Power stairs. Didn't y'all have power stairs?
Yeah, he did good on power stairs.
Flew up and things.
Yeah, and I thought I did really good on power stairs too, but his time was faster than mine on power stairs.
Yeah, it was impressive. That was one of the few events I got to watch. And I did catch, and I feel bad saying that, but I did catch somebody crapping their pants.
Derek Owen shit his pants.
Was it Derek Owen?
Yeah, he's the guy that was on our World's Strongest Nation.
Yeah,
from Texas.
He's also the one that has like a picture of you shirtless coming to his gym, right?
Yeah, well, actually, I'll show you.
Yeah, show me that.
So we have a wager for Chaos next week, and the wager is the loser has to put up a poster of the winner in their gym.
Oh, I thought it was for Ultimate.
Oh no,
I thought this was his.
No, we didn't make a wager for Ultimate.
And then y'all tie on count back or something like that.
At Ultimate? No, I beat him.
Oh, okay.
I beat him 4 times in a row now. I'm about to beat him 5 times. I hope Derek's watching this. Anyways, this going to be Derek's poster for his gym. It says the Bama Hammer, world's strongest 90-kilogram man. At the bottom, it says way stronger than Derek.
You should have put you got hammered by the Bama Hammer.
Yeah. Hammered by the Bama Hammer.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so if I beat him at Chaos next Sunday, then he takes that back with him to Texas and puts it up at Battle Axe Barbell.
Oh, wow.
And then if he beats me, he's supposed to have a poster or something that I put up at my gym. So,
do you know what his poster is yet?
No, his wife said she was going to make, Shelly said she was going to make something.
Okay. But
haven't seen anything yet. He's not, maybe.
So you posted that on social media, so he knows what it's going to be.
Oh, yeah. He knows what to expect. Because I thought it was funny that I had to post it. Yeah, that was probably like one of my most popular like stories that I've posted. It had so many people like it and send me like that they were dying laughing.
I keep waiting for the calendar to come out.
The Bama Hammer calendar.
Yeah.
If I can make money, I thought I might do.
We talked about
pay for travel. Huh?
We talked about actually doing the calendar and selling ad space and like putting comps, like highlighting the comps of each month, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was too much of a hassle to put together, and I had a lot of interest in it, but it was so much time and effort trying to track down all the different shows in the area. Yeah. And I was going to sell ad space, and I was going to have athletes. All the proceeds were going to go to sponsoring athletes. Yeah. But so we forgot to talk about the wagers. So you got the one with Derek about the poster.
Yeah. So we mentioned the wager with Derek Owens, who's my best friend. He's my rival, right? So if I beat him at Chaos, he hangs up the good-looking poster of me as a cowboy standing amongst flowers with my shirt off.
But you've got a lot more wagers than just with Derek.
That's Derek. And then the other one is Jacob McBride. So if I beat... Now, I gave Jacob McBride an equalizer. So Jacob said, I know you're going to beat me on all 5 events. He's like, but let me choose 3 events. And so I said, okay. So he chose the overhead press, the deadlift, and then the sandbag carry to sled pull. So those are only 3 events. So whoever does best on those 3 wins. And the wager with that is loser has to wear a dress to the after party.
And he saw a video today of you doing deadlifts, and he was not very happy about that.
Yeah, so yesterday I posted a video, 2 days ago I posted a video of me doing a 330 axle press. It looked pretty easy. Yeah. And he's like, oh shit. And then today we posted a video of me doing 750 pound deadlift for 2 reps. And so he was like, fuck. Anyway, so look forward to Jacob, probably Jacob wearing a dress at the after party. They're gonna have like an after party, I think, at Chaos Gym. Yeah. They're gonna have like music and drinks, and it sounds like it's gonna be pretty fun.
Don't you have one with CJ Kraus?
And then I have another wager with CJ Kraus, and I think of the 3 guys, I think he's the toughest actually, because he's really good at farmers, he's good at overhead press, he's good at deadlift. I think I got him on the sandbag over bar. I think I got him on the sled pull backwards. Yeah. The other ones are going to be like neck and neck. But that wager is karaoke wager.
Karaoke.
Yeah. So like if he win or if I win, CJ Kraus, he has to wear my Strong Crew shirt and a Strong Crew headband, and he's got to sing "Sweet Home Alabama." Nice. I'm from Alabama. Yeah. He's from he's from Florida originally, but he's living in Colorado, so he's got to sing "Sweet Home Alabama." If he wins, then at the after party, I have to sing an 80s song of his choice.
Of course, 80s with the sunglasses and the mullet.
You know, his like get up. So we have like a mullet wig, some Pit Viper glasses, and I'm gonna wear his jorts, which are like I guess really short, like jean shorts. Yeah. And so I'm singing an 80s song. Well, I just told him, I was like, man, I'd probably do this anyway.
That's what I'm saying. That's not a punishment. Yeah.
It's just an excuse to have fun.
Exactly.
Right?
Is that all the wagers?
That's the only 3. And I like challenge. I was like trying to get more guys to like challenge me. And those are the only 3 dudes who are brave enough. So like mad respect to those 3 guys. Oh yeah. Who were like willing to actually wager me and make it fun. I was trying to get some of the European. It seems like only the American dudes want to do it.
Gambling's in our blood.
Only the Americans are crazy enough. I don't know.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple of years we can do that.
No, but Derek's a really good athlete, and we're really lucky that we had him on our World's Strongest Nation team, actually. Yeah. He came in 3rd at OSG, right behind me. I came in 2nd this past year. Yeah, and he's real good stone loader. We had stones that we had to do in the World's Strongest Nation comp. But yeah, it was kind of fun. Me and him were like bickering or kind of badgering each other like throughout the competition. And I was like, man, the only way you can win a world championship is if I'm on your team, apparently. That's what I thought.
So not to bring up any bad feelings about anything, but I was locked in. I actually paid a subscription to watch OSG last year. And, like I was at a wedding, and my wife kept like nudging me because I'm back there on my phone like this. At a wedding with one of my friends, and I saw the press event, and that one I was upset for you. Like when I saw you go through the yoke press to the block, and you were in the middle of pressing the block, and then all of a sudden you get pulled to the side. And I told Alex, because I think we were driving through Mississippi or to Mississippi at that point, and I looked over at Alex. I said, he's not going to get credit for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's bull.
Because that actually cost me a point in finals.
Yeah, and I that would have changed the whole outcome of everything.
Yeah, I would have won the competition.
Yeah, because you dropped it behind your head.
Yeah, but everybody was doing it all day.
Yeah, and the few that they caught, they told them to go back and do it again. They didn't give you that option. They just let you go onto the block, right?
No, I'm the only one that they told to do it again. They gave credit for everybody else. So I asked him, I said, why don't you give credit to everybody else? He said that when my weight class went, that he told the judges before we went not to allow it anymore. But they had been allowing it all day. But he didn't tell the athletes. He just told the judges. So when I did that and I went on to the block, in the video, you can see when my judge tells me, you actually have Terry Hollins looking over at my judge telling me to make me go back. It wasn't Terry, it was actually Lynn. So Lynn was yelling at my judge. Lynn Morehouse was yelling at my judge to make me go back. And Terry Hollins, the other judge, heard him. And so he was pointing like, look, Lynn's trying to get your attention. Mm-hmm. Make him go back. So you actually had the promoter of the competition deciding to interfere with the judge's job make me go back. Like when I spent like 20 seconds on that block.
Because I mean,
so it totally, it messed me up. Like if I had redone the yoke, for instance, I still would have gained that point that I needed to win the competition.
Exactly, because I went back and looked at the points, and I kept telling my wife, I said, this is going to mess my back because it dropped you down like that. Is that event where you were like 20 something?
Yeah.
If you would have just got that credit for that press, it would have jumped you up like 10 points or something.
Well, it ended up being. I looked at it. It did cost me a point in finals, which would have been what sort of won.
Not to bring up sore stuff.
Okay. I've been doing really good. Like I've gotten over it. The other thing was that they added the 11th person, which was Derek, in finals.
That kind of sparked this little back and forth.
Yeah, which I've moved on. Like, but I was 4 points behind the leader, which was Gavin. When they did the reshuffle, I was 4 points behind him. They changed the rules, added an 11th person in. When they added that 11th person in, I literally saw the scoreboard change. It was 4 points. All of a sudden, now I'm 5 points behind the leader, just from adding in another person, which was against the rules. It was a rule change. So now it gave me a larger hill to climb to get to first place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how could you benefit Gavin and benefit Derek, but you just hurt everyone else in the top 10 by changing your rule?
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up, I caught up the 4 points and I beat Gavin on stones. Mm-hmm. So we should have tied at the end. And then I would have won the tiebreaker because I beat him on stones.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I got the year I won is the gold Atlas there.
Yeah.
And then last year, because of all that, I brought home the silver one. But that's when I look, so everybody knows, like, if they look back, I posted a picture and I just look really pissed off on the podium.
You do.
But I mean, I'm actually like completely over it. Like a lot of fun things.
Well, it kind of brought out a pretty good little fun rivalry between you and Derek.
Yeah, and honestly, if I had won twice in a row, I was considering not doing the 90 kilogram weight class anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'd won. I mean, what else was there to do? Like I'd won the world championship twice, and I did it. Yeah, and I did it back to back, and no one else had done that. Maybe I hang up my hat, but now I'm kind of like, well, maybe I'll do this thing like I mentioned at the beginning of the show that I want to be like a legacy 90 kilogram and see how many years I can do it.
Nice.
And I've had a lot more fun. And so I decided this year to do the 4 biggest shows. I kind of, because of that second place, it's kind of driven me to do all the big shows.
That's good.
So you try to, like, when things happen to you, spin it into something positive,
Yeah.
So after Pro Strongman League in October, I'll do OSG, which is the 4th and biggest. OSG will be in December, and it's going to be in Madison, Wisconsin this year. So so I'm going to do all 4 world championships, and OSG is the biggest. Because like the year that I won, we had 43 guys in my weight class. We had like the 3 previous world champions were there. You had all like the deadlift record holders. You had, all your strongest 90 kilogram guys were there. Like I had all the best guys really there the year that I won. So when you win it, you're like, you did something, right? You're the best.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what, for me, that's what I do. That's why I want to go to all the best shows and try to put myself out there and prove I'm the best of the 90 kilogram men anyway.
I mean, not to brag or anything, but you do notice, like, if you're watching this trophy right here, the one that he hasn't talked about yet, that's my show. And it's up there with the world championships. He totally didn't do that because I'm coming.
Yeah, I put you up there. You're the top shelf. You're like top shelf bourbon right now.
That's right.
That's all of my best shows right there. That it was a very fun show. That deserves to be up there.
I appreciate it. Well,
there were 11 guys, 105 class.
Yeah.
You had there's some good athletes in there.
Yeah, I mean Justin Weaver. I think he placed 3rd or 4th in the 105 static monster worldwide.
Yeah.
Like as far as the initial
had to beat Justin Weaver. He's a very good athlete. Yeah. It's very impressive. Like if you go to a show and you go against really talented people and you can come out with the win, it's a big deal.
Next year, when you secured that you were coming back for it, and like your name popped up on there, that's the quickest we ever had a roster fill up. And
really?
I had like 3 guys message me. They were like, "I signed up to try to compete against Tyler."
Yeah,
they were 100% there. The only reason I'm doing this is because I want to beat Tyler.
There's one guy came all the way from Wisconsin, or
Adam.
Adam.
Was he Wisconsin or? he was somewhere north.
Up north.
He drove 11 hours.
Yeah, and he walked up and said, "I just wanted to see how I could do against you."
Yeah, I mean,
that's flattering.
Oh yeah, he's coming back. He was one of the first ones to sign back up. He competed against CJ Kraus, like just a couple months prior to that.
Yeah,
and beat him on the power stairs event. And
he beat me on the power stairs by like a second, dude. Barely.
If he was 100%,
he's fast. Yeah,
he's got a killer back toss. I think he had hurt his shoulder, so he was throwing one arm during warm-ups. I don't know if you noticed that. Somebody mentioned it on the live stream, and CJ Pierce and CJ Kraus were like, "I don't understand the benefit of the one arm toss." And somebody commented in the thing, like he can't raise that arm, and he still got like the 45 or something.
Yeah.
So I think he's got a lot of talent, especially with stones, throws, and power stairs.
Yeah.
His pressing is interesting. He's grown a lot on it. But he has some pretty good fail videos that he posts about it, so I don't mind talking about it. But when he went to do the log press, if you watch back the live stream, me and Todd are standing behind him, and I'm like big guy because I saw all his compilation fails. I was just worried about that thing going this way.
Yeah, man.
But no, I had several people message me, and they were like, "I'm signing up to compete against Todd."
Yeah.
So you're building that legacy.
Yeah.
I will say this year may not be as easy because I got some high level 105 guys.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah.
Not that last year was easy for you, but this year you've got some guys who are PSL.
The top PSL guys.
Yeah. Matt Powell, he signed up.
Nice.
I got two other guys who I think did OSG that are in the 105 that competed at OSG. They didn't podium, but they were contenders, and I think they're on the fence right now. We still got 2 spots left in that class for you.
Yeah, nice. But before we get too far, I need to tell you the story of the World's Strongest Nation.
Oh yeah.
So, so for Ultimate, you have it's World Championships for like lots of different weight classes, like 64 kilogram women, and I think it's 82 kilogram women, and then you got like the 80 kilogram men, 90 kilogram men, 105 men. They even had a 120. Kilogram man class, and so they do those, and also there's a 105 masters, and so they do those on like the Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday is kind of like the big show. That's where like lots of people from the town come to watch it, and it's a lot more pageantry and music and like sponsors and stuff like so. That's the big production, and that's the World's Strongest Nation. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun, and so that had like 8 countries. It had Brazil, Austria, Wales, of course, the United States, us, Czech Republic, Ukraine, Lithuania. Oh, I'm so close. There's only one more. I'm forgetting one of the whole countries. Germany. You're right. Yeah, Germany. Yeah. You're right. It's in Germany. Yeah, that's the 8. So we had 8 countries, and so and so we did. So our captain is Johnny. And Johnny Cisco, he's from New Jersey. And Johnny's been doing this. He's done like 167 competitions. I mean, he is like a veteran legend, you know. But now he's like 49 years old. And so he competed in the Masters class and at Ultimate. And then I did the 90 kilogram class, came in second. And Derek Owens did the 90 kilogram class, came in third. And then we had Zach McCarley. Zach McCarley has been doing the sport for 20 years. I think he's in like his late 30s. Mm-hmm. So he's been doing it since he's like a teenager. And he won the 105 class at Ultimate. Oh. He's badass. Like, he is good. He's like a little monster. He's like 5'8" probably, but he is like straight.
5'8", 105?
Yeah, but he's like wide. Like,
why is he as tall?
Built. He is built, man. He looks like a wrestler, like a huge. He's very strong. Anyway, so we had him on our team. So, but what was funny is, as we're getting ready to go over there, we kind of just threw the team together at the last moment.
I was about to ask, was this like planned going?
Yeah, so we had like a chat group called, USA Ultimate Team, and we had some people drop out. We actually we did have for a little bit the Dan Hughes, the Star Wars fan.
I've been trying to get him.
Yeah. So we had him on the team. I think we had him and Zach McCarley, and it was me. It was me, Dan, Zach McCarley. Anyways, well, I think Dan dropped out, and so we only had like 3 of us. It was me, Johnny, and Zach McCarley. And so Johnny messaged me and he's like, hey, do you think like would you be okay? I know you and Derek got like a little feud going on. Are you okay if Derek joins the team? Like, I was like, yeah, but let me ask him. I was like, let me make him say, yeah, he wants to be on the team through me. So I messaged Derek and Derek said he wanted to do it. And so I was all right, we got Derek. So we added Derek to the chat group. And so it was the 4 of us. Now you can have 5 people on a team, but now the way the events go, there's 7 events, and each event you choose like 3 people to do the event. And but we didn't have 5, we only had 4. And of course, like Johnny, he can't even lift his arm up like past here because he just had like surgery on his shoulder. And then you got me and Derek, we're way undersized at 90 kilograms compared to some of the dudes. And we all had just competed. Me, Derek, Johnny, and Zach had just competed.
And how many events were in the weight class?
5.
So you had 5 events.
So I did 12 events over the weekend. So but what's funny is the other countries like Czech Republic and Ukraine, they don't compete in the individual.
No.
They stay fresh for just the team comp. So we had all competed and we were already beaten up.
Yeah.
And so we go to do the team comp, So, but Johnny says, well, tomorrow is just going to be for fun. He's like, just don't get hurt.
Yeah.
And we're just going to have a fun time, And so I'll try. He's like, we're just going to have a fun time.
Yeah, I'm sure. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And so,
go ahead.
So I was like, that sounds good to me, and that was the idea, is that we were just going to have fun. So then it comes to Saturday night, the night before the team comp. I decide I want to go have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I go out with like Team Wales and we get drunk. And so like one guy from Wales, he challenges me to a drinking contest. And I know like Welsh people can drink,
Yeah.
But he was already pretty hammered before. So I was like, all right. He's a little bit younger than me. So I think I had a little wisdom on him. But anyway, he got so hammered that he was like passed out on the stairs going to a hotel. And so there was like a picture floating around of like, like Team Wales is down before the comp. And so, but I drank a lot too. I didn't get back to like 3:30 in the hotel room, which is not something I would ever do as like world champion. I usually take everything serious. But Johnny was like, this is going to be for fun,
Yeah.
So I didn't care that much, right? Well, then the next morning I had a hangover. I had a headache. So I gave myself an IV in the room. Gave myself an IV bag, took some Tylenol, and then I showed up and I started feeling like pretty good, actually. Like I had probably all the energy from the alcohol,
Yeah, still.
And also I got the IV to take care of the headache. And the Tylenol kicked in. And then we go and we sit like with Zach, and Zach had been to the rule meeting. And Zach is like the guy I told you, is kind of like the legend. He's been doing this 20 years. He's super strong. And he like comes back to us. It's me, Derek, Zach, and Johnny. And we're all like looking at the events, and we're looking at the weight. We're thinking who could do what. And then we kind of realized at that point, like we're like fucking world champions, Like I was like, we could probably win this.
Yeah.
We're all pretty good. And because we got Zach, I mean, like me and Derek are smaller, but we're pretty damn good for the 90 kilogram class.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're better than a lot of like 105s, even though we're smaller.
Yeah.
Like especially on like press and stones and things like that.
Yeah, you got to kill it.
So, anyways, we started like kind of taking it seriously. Like maybe we could do this, So the first event was the press event, and we all choose a different implement. I chose a regular barbell, and you had to press it as many times as you could in 60 seconds. Derek chose the axle, and then we gave Zach the block.
Is Zach the one that couldn't raise his arm, or was it Johnny?
Johnny.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, we won that event. We beat all the other 7 countries. We won the press. And then the next event was deadlift. And then I did the axle. I think Derek did the barbell. And then Zach did the car deadlift. And we won that by we beat everybody by like 3 reps on deadlift.
Oh, nice.
And then we did the truck push. And then
I did see that one. That was pretty good.
Yeah. And then we won the truck push. We won the first 3 events of 7.
Oh, that got you hyped.
Oh, and we're like, damn, we're killing everybody. And so then we kept going. And then the frame, Zach and I are the only persons on the team that can even pick up the frame, basically, pretty much. Like,
what was it? Do you remember?
It's like 640. But it was kind of an awkward frame. It was I mean, it was okay. It was an okay frame.
Yeah.
But Johnny's grip and Derek's grip just aren't there. So Zach, we had to carry the frame 60. It's like 66 feet, 20 meters, whatever that is, 66 feet. And so that's a pretty good distance to carry that frame. So Zach carried it down and back. So he carried it like over 130 feet. And then I carried it the last stretch and just like sprinted it to the end. I was really happy with myself. And so we finished, I think, second or third on that. And so we were doing real good. Well, then disaster kind of struck where we had 2 events to go. And our best guy, Zach, got hurt.
What happened to him?
He started having back spasms.
Oh.
I'll just take a pop.
No, you're good. I was enjoying the last bit of that whiskey.
Yeah, he had back spasms. And we're like, oh, damn. So second to last event, you have to like carry sandbags down, load natural stones into a tractor bucket,
Saw that one.
and then flip a tire.
Yeah. I didn't see the tire flip. I saw the sandbag and the stone. You had to do 2 of them, the carries, didn't you?
Yeah. So the way we thought it out, because we had Johnny, and like I said, Johnny's shoulder was a little messed up, and then we had me and Derek. I'm really good at sandbags, and I love sandbags. I can like pick them up and run with them. And so I was like, well, give me the lightest sandbag and the heaviest sandbag. Derek did the middle sandbag. And then there were 3 natural stones. And we gave Johnny the lightest stone. I took the middle stone. And Derek is an extremely good stone loader. We gave him the heavy one.
Yeah.
And so
they weren't like just normal stones. They were like natural stones.
Natural stones.
Yeah.
It was a heavy ass natural. I think it was like 100 and
They were awkward shape. Like
it was almost, I think Derek's stone was almost 400 pounds.
Jeez.
Natural stone. That had to be picked up and loaded into a tractor bucket. It was pretty high up too. I would say that tractor bucket was over 48 inches. It was like 52 inches at least.
Yeah, because y'all were leaning back. Y'all getting that full
Yeah.
extension. Were y'all allowed to use tacky on the stone?
No.
So it's all.
Yeah, just grip it. Like, you use some chalk, but that was it. So Derek, he had a real clutch finish and loaded that heavy stone, which I kind of picked it up to see what it felt like before the event. And I didn't like it. Like that real heavy stone, I went to go pick it up. And like my bicep kind of felt funny. I was like, man, I hope I don't have to try this. And so I'm glad he got it and didn't have to tag me.
That's good.
But yeah, he loaded that. And then Johnny and Derek did the tire flips.
Okay.
So on that one, I just did the sandbags and the middle stone. And we ended up coming in third on that. But then Czech Republic had been like winning the last couple. And so when we got to the final event, we were in a dead tie with Czech Republic.
Oh,
they came all the way back and we were like tied. I think it was like 41-41.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're the last 2 teams to go, and it's head-to-head Atlas stones over a bar. And so it's like 3 minutes. 3 minutes of Atlas stone loading. And the Atlas stone is 160 kilogram. Let's see.
350.
There was a 350 something stone.
Yeah.
350 something. And so it was a pretty heavy stone.
Yeah.
So 350, and it's, for as many reps you can get in 3 minutes. Now you can cycle you choose 3 people, and you can cycle them however you want. So one guy could do 4, and then go to the next guy. One guy could do 1, and one guy could do 1. You can switch like that.
How many chances to switch did you have? Unlimited, or was it like
Unlimited? Just for the 3 minutes, you can just go.
But there was a time limit. It wasn't
3 minutes total.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 minutes total. So luckily, though, like Johnny, that's his game right there. Is loading stones. Like he's 49 years old, but like he can load some Atlas stones. And back in the day, he's done some very impressive stone loads. So he was like, I got this, So he actually started out on that event. He was the first one to go. Loaded 1. Then I think I went, and I loaded 3. And then Derek went. I want to say Derek loaded either 4 or maybe even 5. He did really good, loaded them over. And then Johnny goes back, loads another one. I go back, load another one. Derek goes, loads another one. And then Derek almost kills himself, which is that picture I posted.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm like reaching out to him. Looks like an oil painting like from the Renaissance.
Yeah.
I'm like this. I'm like, because we all thought he crushed himself because like he went to go pick it up and they kind of like when he touched it up against the wooden platform there, the platform moved a little, and his legs kind of like buckled a little bit, and he fell backwards, and it looked like the stone was about to roll, like land on top of his chest, but he kind of turned to the side and landed on the side. Like and I was like right there, and I was like reaching out, and so we drag him off, and Johnny loads another one, and then I load another one, and then Derek's out, and then I go to load one more, and it's right before the time, and I like lapped it, and I just couldn't get it, and I fell down. And so at that point, we're all looking around, like we were happy, like we thought we did pretty good, but we're like, wasn't enough. We had no idea. And so we're kind of like halfway celebrating. We're kind of like, yeah. And then we kind of look around, like kind of quiet, like shit, did we do good enough, you know? And so the girls, Johnny's wife and everybody, they like filmed it, and they were counting how many we got and looking at how many Czech Republic got. And they were like, oh, they got 13 and y'all got 16. And so we beat them by like 3 reps.
Heck yeah.
And so we ended up winning the whole competition. First time United States ever won World's Strongest Nation for Ultimate. I think since 2017, you've had Ukraine win several times. You've had Czech Republic win. You've had Poland win. So mostly Eastern European countries. We're the first Western country. And first time United States has ever won.
Well, congratulations, man. That's
It's got a pretty cool trophy. It's at Johnny's place, Johnny's gym in New Jersey. Thank you. And it's got all of our names on it. And so so we're pretty proud.
Yeah,
that's
what
what
awesome
that
trophy.
First place medal hanging up right there was from first place at World's Strongest Nation. So that competition, and I mean, of all the competitions I've done 20. I think I'm up to about 26 now that I've done. I would say that's probably the most fun I've ever had. Awesome. Doing that team comp. It was a lot of fun.
I was in the process of building a team comp, but I had 0 registration, so I dropped it. But we'll try that again in a few years.
Yeah, see what you think of that old fashioned.
That's good. It's really good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, does anyone?
Yeah.
It's really good. That might not last long.
Well, there's plenty for more.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, so at the end of this year, actually almost 50% of my competitions I've ever done will be world championships. So like I'm not just choosing little amateur shows, and I've moved up. Yeah. And I spend most of my time traveling, going to world championships. So
hopefully I can keep mine at a level where it still draws attention.
Yeah, well, you do a good job because you put so much effort as a promoter to get good sponsors. We get good swag. We get money. We get trophies. And so I support promoters like you who give back to the athletes like that. And so I want your show to keep growing. And the better you treat athletes like that, what's going to happen is you're going to get the higher class athletes who are going to be more competitive. And that's who I want to go against, you know?
Yeah. And the biggest jump I saw this was the one you did this year was only our second year of that competition.
Yeah.
The first year was mainly friends that I was like, I know you're strong, come do it. I even competed and hosted the first year.
Ooh. You decided not to do that again, huh?
Yeah. I was very happy with the fourth place finish out of 6, or it was like with the 7 of us. I had 7 men in heavy and 7 in the light. And I came in 4th, and I was resetting everything between events. So I was very proud of that 4th place finish.
Yeah.
And against Todd Williams and Jeremy Shell.
Yeah.
And another guy, Austin, I'm blanking on his last name.
Eldridge?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretty stout guy.
Oh yeah.
And he's a firefighter, so his schedule is variable. He was supposed to do this past year against you, or this past one this year.
Yeah.
Because he podiumed, he got an automatic.
Return.
And I need to reach out to him and see if he wants to come back next year.
Yeah.
But the biggest difference I saw between the first year and second year was when I invited people, it was no longer who are you? It was what's the events. Yeah. Because the first year first year I invited Justin Weaver, and because it's called the Limit Breaker.
Yeah.
He sent back. I said, I typed up this real nice. Hey, I'm very excited to invite you. I hope you receive this well. based off of what I've seen.
Yeah.
I want to invite you to the first ever limit breaker. And he responded with, I broke all my limits years ago. Go ask Broly. And I was like, you smart ass. And like, I almost said back something like kind of dickish, but I was like, no, that was a good joke. So I let it go. I'm like, I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan. We'll let it go. And then the next year, he messaged me and was asking about it. And I was like, I actually invited you last year. That was you? I was like, yeah.
That's funny. Now he's hooked, huh? He came because he competed in your other one too.
Yeah, he came because we had floor press. It was one of the few.
Oh, he wanted to do the floor press
because he could bench press like 500 pounds. Dude's a monster presser. He's like mini Trey when it comes to bench press. It's amazing. We have some of the most talented athletes in the nation, all within like 4 hours of Birmingham.
Yeah,
5 hours. Because we got you, multi-time world champion, and we got Trey, who's like the second best bench press in the world in his weight class. Yeah, he's second or third. You got
Hannah Lindsay.
Now
we used to have
Victoria Long.
Victoria, but she moved.
Yeah, she left us to go to, I think, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And you just got like even outside of strongman, we've got like Christy Hoffmeyer, who I tried to get to do the state strongest. Mm-hmm. She ended up having a knee injury. She's still kind of going back from it. I'm trying my best to get her in limit breaker next year. She's only done one strongman competition. Yeah. And she won it. But she has like one of the highest. I think at one point she was like top 10 natural deadlift.
Oh wow.
Yeah, powerlifting. So like tested, and so I mean she was. I want to say she was pushing 600 pounds. Wow. As a female, natural. Yeah. Tested.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like she beats me in deadlift, and I mean. Yeah, I'm not a slouch when it comes to strength training, but wow, she's a monster. She trains with a great group of people.
You also have isn't Evan Singleton in Tennessee? He's probably not too far up there.
Is he Tennessee?
I think so.
I know Derek.
As coaches there, coach is Derek.
Derek's there. They got a good group of guys coming out of their gym. You didn't. You came to the Battle of the Forge, didn't you? You didn't compete.
Not this last year. I didn't come this last year. I went the year before that.
So Derek showed up with Olga. They had their athletes come and compete.
Is it Adam? No, Adam Dirks. Is that you're thinking?
Adam Dirks. Yeah, it's not Derek.
Yeah, we were talking about Derek earlier. That's why he said that. Adam Dirks. Adam Dirks is Evan Singleton's coach. Yeah, I guess he's Olga's coach too.
I don't know if he's Olga's coach,
but they were just traveling together.
They were both there. Okay. And they had a couple of athletes competing against Trey, Trey returning champ kind of thing. And it came down to the very last event for their guy, Trevor or something. I have to go back and look at it. But they had two guys. It was like second place and third or fourth, so they were podium level guys. Yeah. I invited both of them on the spot. I was like, come do my show. But it came down to they were tied going into the last event. And we had to do 3 instant replay backs with timers because the time was so close between the two of them on the single finger event. And I know, Trey's a local champion. Like he's won every show around here. And this guy came in, he's primarily a power lifter, I think. Yeah. He came in and went head to head with Trey, and it came down to a fraction of a second.
Who ended up winning?
Trey. Yes.
And on the finger fingers? I beat Trey on the finger fingers the year before.
Yeah. Now it was different this time. We were all empty. So it was a speed run. Yeah. Yeah. Because I actually was able to finish all 3 of them this time. That first year I got 2 of them. And the third one I was like, screw that.
The first year that Todd had the Forge, I won. That's the little guy up there.
Oh yeah.
And he paid out $1,000 for the winner.
Todd is probably
he's a great promoter.
He is like the hidden gem in Alabama. He has so much passion for it, and
he makes really good quality implements too.
Dude, if he could sell his, if he would just put into, I try to tell him, I'm like, I got the promotion side, you got the builder side. Let's go into business. I will run your marketing department for it because
you can't beat his team up.
God, the stuff that he's built for the Forge,
his finger fingers are great.
They were some of the best I've ever seen. Because I've gone to 3 shows now that they've had wooden ones. Yeah, and
Hey, break halfway there.
well, it's because it's cheap. It's something that you can get your hands on. I've even got a set of telephone poles out behind my gym that I'm going to retro into it, but I'm going to, if I can get the money and the time to do it, I'm going to seal them with like Line-X paint. So it's gritty. It's going to have more texture to it, but it's not going to splinter.
Keep the wood from splintering.
Exactly.
Or if you can add some metal like buckles to it,
Well, my plan is to pre-drill some holes through it,
little belts,
and like have it multi-use to where like if I pre-drill the holes down the center on the top part, I can add bolts to it to make a lever deadlift.
Yeah,
I can take the bolts out, do a fingers, and then put a pin through the end of it to where I can add weight to do like Hercules holds. Yeah, but time and effort going into that stuff, I don't have it. But going back to Todd, all the entry fees that he had went into prize money. Yeah, like he paid for the shirts out of pocket, and he paid for the trophies out of pocket, and he's like, I'm not keeping anything. He goes in negative every time.
I know, which we don't want promoters to do that. Like, actually, I would like promoters to make tons of money, but I mean, like, if athletes can make tons of money, if promoters can make tons of money, and athletes can make tons of money, I mean, it would be great. Which we just need the sport to grow in popularity to actually do that. And the way you have to do, I think like Giants Live has one of the best formulas.
Well, England or Europe has a completely different mindset when it comes to strongman.
Yeah, well, they don't have like American football and stuff like that. No. They actually value strength sports a little bit more than we do.
Well, there was a video of Brian Shaw, like he was getting on the plane at airport in Denver or something like that. A couple people came up and were like, "Hey, Brian Shaw." They shake his hand. And then he gets to England. He comes off the turn. And he's getting like mobbed.
Everybody knows him.
Right. Like everybody knows him there. Mm-hmm. We don't like that's not regular around here. It'd be nice if we can get the sport to that point where it's household names.
We got to be able to like fill up stadiums with people who turn it into a show. Like that's what Giants Live does. Mm-hmm. That's ticket sales and things like that.
And that's the biggest issue that I have come across as a promoter is selling tickets.
Yeah.
I can get tons of people to say, "Oh yeah, I'll come watch," but as soon as I say, "Well, tickets are," I'm not charging $25 a ticket, and half time that gets you something along with it, and you'd be surprised how many people are like $25 to come watch. I'm like, how much did you go pay? Like you paid more than that to go to high school football games.
Yeah, go to the movies. Yeah,
exactly. God, movies. I took my daughter to the movie the other day. She had $60.
I remember when I was dating girls in high school. With a $20 bill, I could like take her to the movies and afterwards get like a little something to eat, like, or, I mean, not say anything fancy, but like a burger or something. Oh, yeah. But with $20, I could almost do a date night. Mm-hmm. I mean, now it's just crazy how much you have to spend.
I took my 3-year-old daughter on a daddy daughter date. We spent altogether, it was, I think, $110. We got 2 movie tickets.
Yeah.
We got a Coke. A Sprite, a popcorn, and Skittles.
Yeah,
he spent over $100. I was like, that's unreal.
That's too much. Yeah, it's like that's why everybody just wants to Netflix and chill. Just.
I did. I had to do this. So that's become kind of me and my daughter's thing is go see a movie together. She loves the movie theater. I love it, and my wife will go with us. But the second time we went to the movie, because that was the first time, I was like, I'm going to go all out. Anything you want, we're getting it. Second time, she's like, "Can we go to the movies?" I said, "Sure." Get popcorn. I said, "You didn't get any of the popcorn last time." She goes, "Skittles?" I was like, "We'll bring Skittles."
Yeah. So sneak it in.
Exactly. So I was like, "We'll buy a Sprite." We get there, we buy a drink, and I got the Skittles in my pocket, and she's like, "Daddy, where's my Skittles?" I'm like, "Shh." I'm having to explain to my 3-year-old, we're doing something we're not supposed to. You don't do this by yourself. You're with Daddy. It's okay. But no, I would love to see promoters start to earn, but I see it as a win if I come out no more in the negative $300. Yeah. Because I feel like if I spent $300 of my own money and everybody's taken care of, I get the publicity for my gym. I get, any sales from that come out of it later.
And probably growth of the competition for the next year.
Exactly. If I spend $300 on advertisement, it's just advertisement. If I spend $300 on an event, it's advertisement and an event, and everybody gets to enjoy it. And,
it's much better marketing than putting like a billboard or something like that.
Yeah. If we can get our membership to the point to where it's helping float the gym, any excess revenue from our YouTube channel, memberships, and all that stuff goes straight into competitions. Like,
Yeah.
my plan is YouTube to support the gym and competitions, and then that way, eventually, there's no entry fees for Limit Breaker. It's you get invite, and
yeah. Well, I love that. Like even OSG, we have to pay entry fees, and so at least like with you now, with no entry fees for the previous winner, right? So like, I wish OSG would do like the previous winner. Like, you want your champion to come back.
Yeah.
Why are you charging them an entry fee?
Exactly. I've budgeted and I budgeted out on a nice big old spreadsheet. I got a tab for every competition I've done, and there's a negative. Now there's a negative $400 box that goes into my calculation because first place for all 4 divisions. Yeah. And we ain't even had that yet. I'm already counting for it.
All right. So the divisions, you'll have heavyweight, 105, and then you have 80. What's women's class?
70.
73?
Yeah, 73. So it's going to be a 73 and then an open.
So open women and then 73 women.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've got, for the 73 women, I hate Amber Khan's not coming, Justin Weaver's wife. They both pulled out because they're getting ready for the Arnold, and it's really close together, and they want to really focus.
I don't understand the appeal for the Arnold for weight class strongman because it's an amateur show.
Yeah, I guess, but for them, they have won so many local shows. Like, their trophy category is ridiculous because they try to support everybody.
Yeah.
I think they've competed in every event in the Southeast at some point over the last several years. Yeah. And I think now it's like they want to have that higher level.
I just refuse to do it because, like, for the 4 that I identify, like Ultimate, Chaos, PSL, OSG, they all have prize money. Yeah. For the at least the podium finishers. Yeah. And I consider them to be pro shows. Like the guys who go, like we treat it pretty seriously, and we're real competitive. And then Arnold, it's still for all the weight classes, it's still an amateur show with no prize money.
Yeah, and so they would have some kind of.
And if I look at the 90 kilogram guys that actually go, or the weight class guys that go to the Arnold, it's not the same caliber of guys that go to the other shows. So for me, I guess the appeal for the Arnold just isn't there.
And Arnold, it seems to obviously it prioritizes the open division, like the big boys
and the women, like open men and open women get paid.
And I've been on the fence about the women divisions, about who I want to invite, because there's a big jump from your state level to like the Arnold level. Yeah. But I feel like there's a couple of the ladies that do the Arnold that if I reach out to them and present it, I feel like they might consider it. I had one, I can't remember her name. She was actually responding back to my messages. I didn't bring up the limit breaker, but I was talking to her about something. She was a competitor at Arnold. Yeah. She was one of the top 10. And I felt like, based off the conversation, I was like, I wonder if I invite her, she'll come. And I talked to Victoria. Oh, and I also talked to Victoria Long about it the first year. Yeah. I was like, if I have a women's, would you do it? And she's like, it depends on who you bring. She didn't want to come in and it be just local level women.
A few of her people she used to seeing at her big shows.
She didn't want to just run away with it either. Yeah. And I respect
it. You need Lindsay there. And so.
Yeah.
I need to make a list of people that I think should come that would be perfect fit for your show, because I have a lot of people I'm thinking about right now that and girls that could come.
The women's responses to my messages were the most positive and most like, yes, I want to do that. Yeah. But they haven't registered yet. Yeah. I feel like they will. Based from last year to this year, especially since I added that weight class, there's been a huge jump in interest. I had a young lady, I don't know how she is, I'm just assuming, but she was a 143 USS national champion. Yeah. She followed me on Instagram. I saw that she was a champion. She seemed very competitive. I shot her a message real quick. I'm like, hey, she messaged me. She goes, thanks for the follow. And I said back, and after reading back my message, I was like, that could have been taken really bad. I'm glad she didn't take it that way. I was like, it could come with a lot more than just a follow. I'm looking at your page.
Were you wearing the Only Dads hat?
No, well, actually, I may have
in your profile
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, no, it's on the Luberberg page. I was like, well, this following may also include an invitation if you're interested. And she's like, definitely shoot me the information. So I shot it to her this week. So hopefully she signs up too. But I've got 2 or 3 USS Nationals like podium winners.
Yeah, people who finish on the podium at USS Nationals, they're almost like world class. Like,
Oh, yeah.
if you can finish on, because there's so many people that compete in that show that you're having to beat. That yeah, all the podium finishers at Nationals are good caliber athletes for sure.
The biggest division that we have issue with right now is the men's heavyweight.
Just getting those guys a shot.
Because I've had a lot of guys who are at that high level, pro level, who they're like, yeah, let me let you know closer to time, and then it just falls through. They get hurt. They're focusing on another major show. I can't get the commitment from them. Trey he'll be returning this year, so he'll be a returning champ. The guy who won last year, Jonathan Wimberly.
Yeah,
he's coming back. I'm very excited to see them too. But I want to get at least one pro, just to have, because like in the 90 kilograms, I got you as a world champion, or in the 105, I got a 90 kilogram world champion.
Yeah,
and then I've got a lot of local level champions. I've got like a lot of Alabama, Tennessee, state.
I am a 105 team world champion.
You are. You're also
world's strongest nation team.
Yeah, exactly. So
even though I was way under 105.
Yeah. Well, you also qualified. You're also a 3-time qualifier as a 80, 90, and a 105 Alabama strongest.
Yeah, I've won.
Because you won every weight class.
I've won 80, 90, and 105. I was really considering doing the super heavyweight at Alabama because I look at the events and I really like the events and I think I could keep up with the big guys.
You are.
But the thing is, I'm so focused on the 4 big world championships for my weight class that like I would be heartbroken if I hurt myself and had to drop out of PSL or whatever. Like I have my goals that I'm really focused on, and I don't know if the little risk for doing the Alabama super heavyweight class is worth it.
And I will say Alabama
always do it later.
Does seem light. Not knocking it anyways. It's a horrible. I mean, not horrible. It's a harsh environment
because it's so hot. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, if you're not training in a garage gym, you're not going to be ready for that. Thankfully, my gym, the air conditioner keeps it at a nice, cool 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm in there sweating regardless if the air's on or not. So, with last year, I came in, the heat didn't bother me a bit. I was good, but there was people there passing out.
Yeah. It's a tough environment.
It is.
For sure.
It's hot.
Yeah, managing the heat is like the 6th event. That's what I say. For the Alabama.
And Slater does such a good job with that, especially this new format he's doing, the running 4 events simultaneously.
Yeah.
I've got to run that live stream. I'm so stressed. We're going to be doing a 4-camera split.
Are you doing the live stream for them?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So we got Colorado's coming up August 10th. We're driving all the way to Colorado to do Colorado Strongest live stream.
Yeah.
That's going to be a shit show. The show is, let me rephrase that. It's going to be a shit show for us because it's 21-hour one-way drive.
Yeah.
So we're leaving out Thursday morning. We're going to drive all night. I got me and 2 of my buddies. We're going to take turns driving. We're all working remote, so we're going to, while we're taking a nap. One's taking a nap, one's working, one's driving. We're just going to rotate.
Yeah.
Probably get there around midday Friday. Scout out the venue, get some sleep Saturday, run the stream, and then drive home Sunday morning.
Man.
So we're going to be beat. But the show, I'm very excited for. It's a sold out show.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see some people that I've not got the chance to meet yet because I've done Georgia's, Alabama's, between streaming and competing. I've done most of the Southeast. I've met a lot of guys in the Southeast, but I don't have much connection past Missouri.
Yeah.
I think the Iron Rook is the only guy I know on the West Coast, and I haven't met him in person yet either. So
Zach McCarley. I don't want to compete against him though. He's a monster.
Yeah. Where is he out of?
Washington. Yeah, he'd be really good. Unless he has back spasms during the middle of it, then he's out.
Do you know DJ Dodgett?
He's from Texas.
Yeah.
Battle Axe Barbell.
Yeah. So
I met him. He was at Ultimate.
I've been trying to get him.
He competed in 105 at Ultimate.
He was on the fence last year, and he was like next year. And then this year he's been so competitive. He's been doing the ultimate. He was OSG.
Yeah.
He's been so active. We just haven't been able to nail it down and get him registered.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to push him. I want to get him in. There's another 105 guy. I tried to get Dan, but once he won OSG, I was like,
man,
he ain't responded to me already. Now he's got the championship, the world championship.
You're in a good month though, because like there's not. I mean, for instance, I'm not interested in the Arnold.
Yeah.
So it doesn't conflict with the Arnold for me. So like my season starts in June basically. Next year my season may start in. It's going to be towards the end of April or May, because Ultimate. If I do Ultimate again, I think I will. It'll be April or May.
Are they moving it up?
They're moving it up a month. They said.
Okay.
So I mean, but you got like Ultimate if it's in the late spring, and then you got Chaos. Seems like it's going to be in July every year. Mm-hmm. You got PSL September, October.
Have you considered
December
OSG since he's added that?
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have a 90 kilogram yet. He does have 231. Like, remember, like at the beginning of the show, I was talking about how like I want to try to.
I'm gonna stick to that 90.
Yeah, like I feel I'm better served, like establishing myself in one weight class my whole career, and if I gain weight and I'm like to be competitive at 231, I would make myself weigh 245.
Mm-hmm.
And me at 245 is unhealthy.
Yeah. When
I get in the 220s, like I got the heaviest I've ever been is 227. And at 227, like my blood pressure's a little higher. It's just I'm just not as healthy.
You don't feel right. Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty strong. Like I'm pretty strong, but like actually, I think I'm stronger now than I was at 227. I'm 212. Mm-hmm.
Did you?
I just feel better
or anything like that?
My cardio is way better now.
No, man, when you were in your 220s, because like when I hit that 220.
Yeah, I would say it's not as good. Yeah, it's not as good as it is now.
Because as I made that progression up, like 180 to 195, no change. 195 to 205, still felt great. Actually, I felt like I was more conditioned at 205 than I was at 180.
Yeah.
I had a little body fat on me. I wasn't like depleted all the time.
Yeah.
But once I got to about that 220 mark, carrying a sandbag was like I couldn't breathe.
I definitely feel good. I'm really happy around 210. And I think there's value in every weight class. Like I think the 64 kilogram women weight class is one of my favorite to watch. And
what's the Chaos promoter?
Rhiannon Lovelace.
Yes. What's her?
Riri.
What division is she in?
She's 64.
64.
But now she's kind of retiring from strongman.
Man, that was my goal. Was to get my show big enough to get her to come over. Like that would have been, if I could have ever grown my show big enough to where she would fly over to do it, I would have like considered that like a world level achievement.
Yeah, she's pretty legendary for her 64. She's won OSG. I think she won it 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
she's like deadlifted like 600 pounds, I think, or more. Mm-hmm. Like for a 64 kilogram woman, like, pound for pound, probably one of the strongest humans. Yeah. So I think like. For me, it's not about, you're doing really good, 90 kilogram. Like you should move up to 105 now. Mm-hmm. For me, it's like the 90 kilogram class is just as legitimate as the 105, and the 80 kilogram class is just legitimate as the 90. And just like boxing, you got different weight classes in boxing. Like Floyd Mayweather, he was a little guy, but he's like, people love watching him, right? Mm-hmm. I think everyone in all the different weight classes could be something fun to watch. And like, for instance, if I had to go against Brian Shaw, but he had to weigh like 90 kilograms, I would smash him. There's no way. There's no way he could keep up with me at 90 kilograms. So like, there's something to be said about being so strong for how little we are. I'm not like, I'm not as tiny as an 80 kilogram guy, but like, to be really strong pound for pound. Like if you do the math on it at OSG, really like the 80 kilogram men are the strongest pound for pound. On the stones, for instance, like the 80 kilogram men are the only class at OSG that their last stone is twice their body weight.
It's insane because just people we know. That's another one, Jeremy Shell.
Yeah,
Alabama guy, top 5 PSL last year, and he was injured like event 3.
Yeah,
he still finished top 5. But seeing him come into the gym, me outweighing him by like 30 pounds, and he's deadlifting 600-700 pounds.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Now, Chaos Classic that we're doing next week,
Mhm.
next Sunday, we need to get everybody to buy the live stream. The live stream
yeah.
might be $9 or something. It's not gonna be much, but yeah, that one, the weights in that for the 90 kilogram men, for instance, is not very far off of what Giants Live does for like open class men. I mean, our yoke is 900-pound yoke. I mean, Giants Live, I think last time they did a yoke was under 1,000 pounds. It was like 950 or something.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Ultimate. Let's talk a little bit about Chaos coming up. That's literally next week.
So let me talk about the events a little
Yeah,
bit.
let's run through the events.
So they're gonna have 64 kilogram women will go. They will go on a Saturday.
Are they doing the same events as the 90 kilogram?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the 90 kilogram men are going to go on the Sunday.
Okay.
And the events are max axle press.
That's
So
awesome. You're training on that.
I think the first axle is going to be like 308 pounds or something. It's going to be like 300 pounds. That's going to be the first attempt. I'm pretty sure that's the first. And then
Are they doing set weight jumps or are they?
Yeah, set weight jumps. And then it's going to be like 325 and then like 345 and then 350 something. And then the world record, I think it's like 367. If I'm not
Is it going to
mistaken.
be unlimited attempts, or is it going to be like 3 attempts, and you?
I think once you miss, you're out.
Okay, so it's everybody attempts it.
Yeah, you
and
get
then
60 seconds.
But I mean, like you can't skip a weight, or you have to do every weight. Or
I believe I think you can skip the first one,
Mhm.
but you can't skip any after that.
Okay.
I think that's the way the rules were, like where you don't have to do the 300-pound one, but everybody has to start with that next one. So basically, there's only one that you could skip. I'll probably start with the first one just to get a feel for it. I mean, that's not going to wear me out, and then everybody else goes. And then, I'll probably start with the 300. It's always good to like get on the board, with the light, something like you never know, like you could have just an off day.
The overhead pressing makes me so mad because my best bench press is 410, and I've never broken that 300 mark overhead. And there's guys that I know who can barely bench 315, who can press 300 overhead.
Yeah.
Well,
that's like I beat John Hack on overhead press, but he smashes me on bench press. Not even close. It's totally a different lift.
Like overhead helps bench, but bench does not help overhead.
I never trained bench hardly.
But you could probably, I guarantee, if you walked in there, you could easily do 315 for multiple reps.
I can strict press 300.
Exactly. Like
overhead. I can strict overhead 300.
And I guarantee if you walked in, if I had to guess, your bench press is probably around 400 something.
I don't know if I can do 400. I've done 315 for like sets of 3, but like I just don't train bench. But that wasn't like max. I just don't know how many I could do.
Do you think you could have got 6 to 8 reps? Because
maybe
my 315 when I'm doing like 6 reps of 6.
Yeah,
I'm in the 3 to 330 range.
Yeah,
and my bench is 410. But
okay,
so you're probably benching right there with me. Your bench is probably about the same as me, but
I would put myself at risk of injury though because I never do it, and if I do that heavy weight, I might tear something.
There's a lot of technique with it, but and it's same with overhead too. Like, there's a lot of technique with it. But what's your log press? Your max log?
I think I've done a 340.
340. Mine's 280, and that was against you, and you freaking took the state record before I got a chance to say that. Yeah, it was like you tried to get me to go. Like I'm gonna go because I was gonna do a smaller jump first, do like 275, and then try for the state record. You're like, no, I'm gonna break the state record on my second attempt. You need to try now.
So that you could have the state record for a little bit.
You helped me. Like, I appreciate you doing that, but it got in my head, and I missed my second attempt, and I retried it on third, and I got it so daggum easy that I think if I wouldn't have been in my head about it, I probably was the closest 300 overhead.
I'm gonna try some of your American rare now.
Yeah, let's go for it.
I think I'll add it to. You want to add it to the?
You want to do that, or you want to?
Let's do it. Let's stay with this.
Hang on, let's see where we're at. Oh yeah, it's in the longest episode ever, and I'm okay with that. Unless you need to go to bed or something.
No, I'm good. So,
hang on, time out.
Which is kind of funny because it makes me think of Ultimate. actually.
Yeah.
Because in Ultimate, I had a world record for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at Ultimate, and I shared the world record with Derek. Although I got my stones faster than he got his. So one of the records that Ultimate keeps up with is like stone to shoulder.
Okay.
And so it was a 140 kilogram stone, which is like 308 pounds
Mm-hmm.
to shoulder, and I did it 4 times, which the previous record was held by Volker and me. Actually, I had the previous record too. I was tied with Volker because when I did the Paris competition, me and him both did it 3 times.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
So actually, I didn't even know it, but I had a world record with Volker that they had kept up with.
Mm-hmm.
And so going into this latest Ultimate, Derek and I were like head to head, and we were both doing it. And I got my 4, and then he got his 4 right after me.
Yeah.
And so he and I had the new world record at that weight for reps. And then Volker came out and did 5. Like so,
He's like,
we had the world
record.
record for like 3 minutes. I almost had 5 too. Like I picked it up and was here. I don't know if I put a little extra effort. I don't know. I could have got it. I'm not sure. But
Yeah,
I didn't need it. I was in second place pretty much. Even if I'd gotten 5, I still would have finished second.
I was cussing you out the other day at the gym.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, somebody had brought. We were talking about log race. I've got a few people who were. We did Strongman Saturday a couple weeks ago, and we had a few people come from out of town, and they were trying to get ready for both Alabamas, and some were trying to get ready for Southeastern, and they were doing log press because Southeastern's got a max log in it, and I was giving some cues and trying to show them what I was doing, and I said, well, I'm not the best at it. I said, but I was this close to a state record if it wasn't for fucking time. And then I was like, to be fair, he gave me a chance to take it first, but I messed up. So
you could have it for a little bit.
Yeah, I do appreciate you doing that.
I got a certificate somewhere over there.
Because you actually
I had 2 state records that day.
Yeah, you did the deadlift and the press.
Yeah, I got a deadlift and a press record for the state. Yeah.
And I do appreciate you because you pulled me to the side and you gave me the heads up. And then even after I missed it, you gave me a couple cues. And the second attempt, that's part of the intro.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that. Like me and Zach, me and him are polar opposites when it comes to strength and fitness. He does 100-mile races for fun. I do
Sounds horrible, yeah.
Oh, I would never. I crewed him one time for a 50-miler. It was his first one.
Yeah.
Just the way he looked afterwards, I was like, I would never run 50 miles in my life.
Yeah.
I don't care if something's after me. I
think it's more unhealthy than strongman.
Dude, the stuff that they put themselves through. I was like, I would rather
a lot of stress.
I would fight a bear before running 50 miles. But that's the intro. Is my clip. He's in the mountains doing one of his runs, and I'm doing a 280 log press. And it was. I just remember watching the video back, thinking I should have went for 300 that day because I felt so good. On that. Like I had.
Some days you just have a good day.
Yeah. Since then, the best I've done is 270.
Yeah. You gotta. There's something you gotta be. It's like smooth. You gotta be smooth when you go with the max effort. I feel like.
Well,
you'll notice when I do Chaos, if you watch it, I'm gonna be pretty slow with my axle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring it up to my belt, take my breath, clean it up to my chest. I'm gonna take my breath, and then I'm gonna shoot it up as hard as I can.
I jacked myself up at the Battle of Forge this year. It was me and 2 other guys in the 220 division because this year he added the 220.
Yeah. Okay.
The year me and you went head to head.
It's just heavyweight.
Just open. And
where'd you finish overall in that?
Second to last. I did not come in last.
Yes.
That was my goal.
You were probably one of the smallest people there.
Yeah, I think.
Other than me.
Me, you, and Brent. Me, you, and a guy named Brendan. He's the one that does the strongman moving in North Carolina.
Oh yeah, Brendan Swingross.
Yeah,
I coach him.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He's having a good year. He won the regional for Strongman Corporation,
Nice.
Southeast Regional. He won that, and there was like 17 guys in that. He won it,
Dang.
and now he's getting ready. He's like super laser focused on winning Strongman Corporation Nationals.
Nice.
In my weight class, the 90 kilogram weight class.
He was coming off an injury that year. when
Yeah.
he did the Battle of the Forge. Like,
Oh, yeah, he'd torn his bicep.
I think that was his first combat.
Yeah.
But me, you, and him were all like 215.
For all the little guys.
Yeah. And we all did not come in last. You came in second that year, I think.
Second.
Trey was the one that beat you.
Yeah, Trey beat me.
And then I was super impressed with myself because I came in third on one event. I was happy with that.
Yeah.
And so my two best events were the grip event, the Hercules hold. I got third on it by like.
Yeah, you beat me on that probably. I think
It was Nathan Barber, Tyler Haynes, and me.
I should have practiced. I've been practicing it now. I know how to do like a nice hook grip. And so I've been using.
I can't hook grip. I got short fingers.
I've been hook gripping on Denny handles in the gym.
Oh,
I would be a lot better at that event now.
So again, going back to what we talked about at the gym today, because I don't know if we mentioned it. We worked out before we came here. I don't have a lot of sweaty palms. Like I don't.
That's a good thing.
It is, and it hurts, but my hands are always dry, so I don't really have an issue with grip. So if I lock in, I'm good. The only reason I didn't get second, because I don't know if I could have held out for first, but I was only second by like a tenth of a second.
Yeah.
I got off balance. I originally had started pulling in because going back to Todd, his builds, he did such a phenomenal job with his Hercules hold that you couldn't pull it in no matter what you did. Like I was pulling, I was almost doing a row on those things, holding them in place because he has stoppers on the inside. And somehow one side I gave a little bit and I got off balance. And if you like, I got a video of myself. I go up on 1 foot and like I'm hanging on for dear life, but I still was able to secure third on that. But the other event that I was very satisfied with myself was the car yoke. Yeah. But I was pissed at myself at the same time because my yoke is my second best event. I would say if anything behind grip is my yoke. It was like 960 pounds.
Yeah,
I think after he
960 pound yoke.
Yeah, and it was a car, so it was unbalanced even more.
Yeah,
I got inside of it for my height. I picked it up and I was like, "Oh, this ain't bad." I was like, "I'm actually probably gonna finish this event." Set it back down. I was like, "It's gonna come down to speed on this." But then I started thinking about it rocking. I was like, "If it hits them tires, it's gonna throw me off." I said, "Drop it 1 hole." And dude, the pick from 1 hole down
was a lot harder.
was way harder. I got in there. I picked it up, and it was like a struggle to pick it up. So I only got it 12 feet, but there was a couple guys that zeroed it, and there was several guys that fell behind me that were way bigger than me, and I was very happy with that.
Only 3 of us finished it.
Yeah, it was you,
Trey,
and then
the guy
Donovan.
he made it look easy.
Dude,
But his hips are this wide.
my God.
His hips are like that wide.
I pray he signed up for the limit breaker this year and then backed out last minute because he was doing he had a family issue, but he also had a wrestling commitment because he's a wrestler.
Yeah,
Like
I thought about joining wrestling. Like
that would be
if I could make more money wrestling than I could in my regular career, I would do that.
you should be making good money as a strongman. If you're a world champion, you should get paid.
You would think that.
You would think. But no, Donovan. Man, we joked about his shoes because I think he had like Dragon Ball Z shoes or something on. We're like, it's the shoes.
Yeah, cheater. Yeah, he's an amazing yoke carrier. I think he was going to do a world record in it, and he broke his pelvis or something like that. He was telling me about it. I think I dropped that about 3 times, but I got through it. Mm-hmm. That was one of the hardest events I've ever done. Was carrying that 960-pound car.
Brendan was the only one who I was impressed and also aggravated with because he did so many. I couldn't believe how many times he picked that car up. He picked it up at least 30 times. And he just pick it up, drop it, pick it up, drop it, pick it up. And he moved it. I think he beat me by 2 feet.
Oh, no.
I think I got 12 and he got 15, something like that. He beat me by it, though. And that would have bumped me up, or I think it might have bumped me up to 10th out of 12.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
But no, the yoke is my favorite event. If there's a comp with a yoke in it, that's going to be the best chance to get me into competing.
Yeah. Well, you should have a goal to get qualified for Chaos one year. Take your wife to England or Scotland.
I would be happy just getting invited to come help.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll take help.
Yeah.
They have Panda who did your who helped MC your event.
She's supposed to be
she's doing the commentary for Chaos.
Is she?
Yeah, she'll be one of the people doing the commentary.
I've got her on my short list of people. So when these comps reach out to me to do the live streams,
Yeah,
she's one of the short list of promoters or commentators that I have on my list. So like, hey, if you want me to reach out, I'll add her. She'll charge her own fee, kind of thing. But
CJ Kraus does a great job in commentary too.
him and Pierce did phenomenal notoriety.
Oh yeah,
I think they're the reason why I got the notoriety. I'm not drunk. I just can't say the word.
Notoriety.
Yes, I think they're the reason why we had such a peak or a spike in
people watching
brand recognition because
obviously people love good commentary.
Well, no,
like if you watch like football games on TV, like we always are used to having somebody kind of giving us a little commentary and a little background information as it goes on. And strongman kind of needs that because in strongman you have those moments where like you're setting the weights up and it's boring because nothing's happening, there's no action going on. Like, but if you have a good person who's doing good commentary, it tells you a little bit about the athlete coming up, kind of some of the storylines and like kind of how remarkable this weight is for their weight. Like just a little like filler to kind of keep the person interested. Like commentary is really important.
It is. I'm excited for the first show that we do where we have that ability to just focus in on individual athletes.
Yeah.
Because like the most recent stream we did was last month. We did Georgia Strongest.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Trey they didn't have anybody scheduled to do commentary. So I was like, if you want me, I'll do it and I'll bring Trey.
Yeah.
So Trey, he came on, him and his wife, me and Trey just sat there and just bullshitted the whole episode, the whole live stream, talked about everything that came to mind. And we had a lot of positive feedback. And we didn't know half the athletes. Like we didn't do any prep work. There was a few that we knew, like Trotter Behringer, the guys who he's competed against, and a couple of guys that I've competed against. And we were able to talk about them. But there was a lot of people who, that was their first show, their novice division.
Try to read the back of their shirt.
Yeah, like there was one. I got very lucky because there was one dude who did my show in April, and I was like, "Oh, so and so's coming up." I started talking about him because I saw him just a couple months earlier in my show.
So he's good at.
Yeah, he wore like this fedora and like he podiumed. He did a great job. I'm blanking on his name right now, but I really found myself enjoying just talking about the competition as it went on, and I want to get requested to do a big show like PSL or something like that. Yeah,
I need to talk to Tyler Purdue, man. He's been so easy to work with, and
I'm very grateful for him giving me the opportunity to be a qualifier.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to doing his show October 5th in Roanoke, Virginia.
Is it Virginia? I thought you said Wisconsin. Or wait,
OSG will be Wisconsin.
Okay.
So OSG's in December. That'll be Madison, Wisconsin. It's gonna be cold.
It's not too far away. I'm trying my best to get to where I'm not just doing local stuff. I'm trying to help. Even if I just go volunteer, I want to go to these big shows.
You can get and the flights to Roanoke, Virginia are cheap.
I'll drive 30, 40 hours.
You don't like flying?
I don't mind flying, but if I can save $300-$400.
Roanoke, Virginia, it'd be cheaper to fly because like you can fly up there. I think it was like $250 ticket to fly from Mobile to Roanoke, Virginia. It was really cheap.
Yeah, but my truck's a 4-cylinder. It gets a good gas mileage.
Your truck's 4-cylinder? That one out there?
Yes.
It's huge.
Yeah. It's the only Silverado that they did with 4-cylinder. It's got a twin turbo on it. So it actually has, I don't mind sharing the information because I've hauled over a ton in bed, and it has no issue hauling anything. I've never had any issue. Like it got
turbo 4-cylinder, I guess.
I put 1,000 pounds of rock. Like we built a rock patio in the backyard with a fire pit in the middle.
Yeah.
And I went to the Lowe's and I said, I just want to get a pallet of your white marble rock.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
We got some of that. It's pretty.
Yeah, it's beautiful. They brought the pallet out and they were like, where do you want to put it? I was like, just put it in the bed. They're like, you sure? I was like, it's about 1,000 pounds. I was like, go for it. I didn't realize, it's about 2,000 pounds, a ton. It was a ton. It was literally a ton, 2,000 pounds. He started putting it in, and I went and looked at the load rating. It said 1,800 for the bed. I was like, 200 pounds, it can handle it. So he started dropping.
I'm sure they got like a safety margin there.
Exactly. So they started dropping the forklift down, And
Back of the trucks are going down.
it went all the way down to the ground. And I looked at the guy because at first I thought he was pushing the forks down. I thought he had already,
Wait, your truck, the back of your truck went and touched the ground?
He was almost like it was as close to the ground as he could get. I looked like Alex was in the front seat. And she looked at me. She's like, "Stop!" Because she saw my anger build up. I thought the guy was pushing the forks down, and then I realized no,
That's just the rocks.
Yet. So once he pulled out, my back end was like this. I looked like one of those douchebags squatted trucks,
like from Cheech and Chong.
No,
like
the squatted. Like,
you're talking about the young like redneck teenagers.
Exactly. You know? That's what it looked like. And my back end was like this. I was driving. I couldn't see over the front of my hood.
Oh, seriously.
And so I get in and I'm stressing because I was like, my suspension's not gonna hold this, but I've already got it loaded. I got to get it home. It was only like 8 miles I had to drive. I was like, let's see how this handles because I had just bought the truck. Like it was maybe 6 months old. Started driving, couldn't tell anything was in the back of the truck except for the fact I was looking at the ceiling. Like that was it. I went over railroad tracks. I stopped. I had traffic. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon on like a weekday.
That's funny.
No issues.
The shocks were like,
boy,
the shocks held out.
I am proud of that truck. I have no qualms about saying, yeah, it's a 4-cylinder.
So you're gonna drive to Virginia.
Yeah, I mean that we're driving to Colorado. I did the math. The gas
For the Shaw?
No, for the Colorado Strongest.
Colorado Strongest.
Yeah, it's
What
the
is that?
state show. It's August 10th.
Okay.
So it's the weekend before Alabama. So I'm going to drive to Colorado one weekend and then drive to Alabama for the next weekend.
Oof.
And then the month after that, I'm driving to Tampa, Florida for the Beast of the Bay.
Are you competing in Colorado?
No, just doing live stream.
Are you helping with live stream up there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Brando and Rosalinda Barrett.
Okay.
They do Colorado's and they do the Olympic City.
Yeah, I've heard of Olympic City.
Yeah, they do both the shows. We did a podcast with them last week. It's going to come out in the next week or so.
Yeah.
And we did kind of like a promo for their show. And we have a very similar layout of our comps. Like they have the Olympic City for the big in-bike kind of pro show. And then they've got the Colorado, which is the more local novice division stuff. And just like our limit breaker and F and Strong. So we connected about that. And ADL that does all
I know him really well.
Super nice guy. Like no reason at all for him to be nice to me. And he saw that I live streamed the limit breaker and he started like reaching out to me, tagging me and stuff, sharing my posts. And he even he was like, "Do you want to do more shows?" I was like, "I would love to." He goes, "I'll start sending people your way that I can't help." Like awesome. I think he was supposed to do Colorado's and some reason conflict came up and they reached out to me. And so I was very, very grateful for that connection.
Yeah, that's a great connection. Yeah, I know you're talking about. He's a very super, super nice guy.
Oh yeah, and I've only talked to him through Instagram, but you know they've been very supportive of me and my endeavors. And technically, I would be I wouldn't say competitor because I'm not on their level, but you know I'm doing the same thing they're doing for shows. You know, just at the local level.
Yeah,
so
that's cool, man.
All right,
you do a great job with the live stream.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we're working with Amazon's best. Everything we got is budget friendly. So that's another thing. 2 of the shows that we're doing, I think they hired us just to learn how we do it so they can do it later. And I had no issues with that.
Just teach them how to do their own live stream.
Exactly. Because our original plan was just to live stream our own shows.
Hiring you like a consultant.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's essentially what it is. And I'd be happy just going out and doing commentary.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any big shows that you, other than the world ones, is there any other local stuff? I know you're heavily focused on the world stuff, but is there any other shows that you may show interest in or you might just do for fun?
We got the 4 World Championships, and then I got your Limit Breaker show, and it's February, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Next February. Local stuff. I'll be at the Alabama. I may sponsor it and have a tent. I was going to compete in it. I think I'm going to sit it out and just sponsor it. I got guys that I coach who are competing, and a girl that I coach is competing. So I'll support them. Livy.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get her to do.
The Limit Breaker is good. Do you have a yoke in that there?
Yes.
So
I know she
has some back things going on where we may avoid competitions heavy yoke. She could just pick it up and move it 1 inch so she does it 0.
Well, here's the thing.
And then just
My
do all the
plan
other
is
bends.
not to do a super heavy yoke.
Yeah.
I'm stealing a lot of Brian Shaw's plans. So I was talking about another show kind of being a carbon copy of mine. I'm taking a lot from him.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to do just, one single event where you just move one implement and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to incorporate a lot of
Well,
multi-events.
that's when I went into Strongman Champions League. They were really big into that, and I
Yeah.
agree. I like that.
I do too. Like I got, the generic max log. That's a staple of, competition is having a max event. But for like the yoke event that's in ours, it's a yoke into an axle deadlift. So you got to exhaust yourself carrying the yoke down the strip,
Okay.
and then you got to run back, kind of like we did the frame into log press.
Yeah.
I was like, I want that same event with different implements. Let's do a yoke into a deadlift, and it's going to be.
I like it.
Yeah, and I haven't finalized the weights, but I want to say it's like 450 yoke for her class.
Okay.
So nothing insane.
Yeah, not too bad.
I think it's like 750, 650, 550, 450, just 100-pound drop across the board. And then, so it's like for the heavyweight man, it's 750, nothing crazy, but then it's like a 600-pound deadlift.
Yeah.
And then for like your class, it would be 650 with a 500-pound deadlift.
Yeah.
And it's just 100-pound increments, but it's going to be exhausting kind of thing.
Yeah. Like of every competition I've done, I think my favorite event, like if I pick just like one event that really sticks out, something that I thought was really cool. Strongman Champions League in 2021, I was in Finland, and one of the events was you picked up a yoke. It was like 700-pound yoke, 750, and it was it had 2 chicks in it.
Yeah.
So it had these blondes. It was like these blonde-headed girls who were sitting in these little chairs, facing out. And so you had to pick up the yoke and carry it like 10 meters, drop it. And then you picked up like a 700-pound frame and carried it 10 meters, or it might have been 650. I don't know if it's quite 700. It might have been 650. You picked up a 650-pound frame, carried it 10 meters and dropped it. And then you had to pick up a sandbag and carry it 10 meters and like load it into a tractor bucket. So the only disadvantage as a promoter is those things are hard to reset each time. So, but if they have really good equipment there.
Well, that's kind of why I did the run it down, do the next event, because then I can just go the other direction.
Yeah.
I have to.
As long as people finish it.
As long as they finish it. Yeah.
You make it light enough to where they can finish it.
Exactly.
They have to reset.
I'll make the yoke lighter, the deadlift heavier kind of thing.
Yeah, because the deadlift is not going anywhere.
Exactly.
Just make the yoke light so you don't have to reset the yoke at all.
That's kind of that was also kind of my thought process with the Bubba's Gauntlet that we did last year.
Yeah.
That one was just I'll be honest with you, I came up with that idea so last minute. And I was getting ready one morning. I was like, I want to do something in his memory. And I needed another event because we had an issue with a build.
Yeah. And
it just perfectly came out. But I want to do something similar. I want to rotate Bubba's Gauntlet. I don't want to do it every year. I don't want to burn people out. But Todd made a comment to me the other day. He was like, my finger is it can be moved. I was like, no, it can't. It's still played on the ground. And he's like, no, it's pretty mobile. I was like, if it's mobile, I may take you up on that. And my thought is, if we have, I guess this is exclusive to because I haven't announced this to anybody, but having just the ends, not all 3, just the ends, and having a race. So like you flip the finger, you go to the next implement, you do it, you go to the third implement, do it, and then you run back, flip it back.
Yeah.
So nothing has to get reset except for the finger, maybe, unless you finish. So if you fail,
you don't finish it.
So it's like a flip, maybe a press, and maybe a load, and then you come back and flip again.
Yeah.
And your final flip is your timer.
Yeah.
So I haven't figured out exactly if that's because I sent it out and I had a third event ? Because we were waiting on a sponsor to give us confirmation about a build, and I'm not going to say anything negative about the sponsor. I'm not even going to mention who it is. They're still going to be labeled as a sponsor. We're just not going to move forward with anything after their sponsorship program. They got a 3-year package. Once it's over with, we're breaking ties. I just flat out told them I said, don't build it.
Yes.
There was so much headache with some of the other stuff. I'm just no longer going to be pushing their stuff.
Yeah.
And
It happens.
it was just a lot of miscommunication that could have easily been resolved had someone like just answered the phone or just been honest. And I'm big about honesty. Like, if I say something that offends you, tell me. I'll own up to it. I don't mind that. If I make a plan and you don't agree with it, don't just we'll do that, and then later be upset about it.
Yeah,
just tell me. But
makes sense.
Yeah, but all that happened, so we're going to be moving some events around for sure. The max log is still going to happen. The Ukrainian deadlift hold may get changed just a little bit. It's still going to be a hold event, a grip event. Just may not be on the platform. You just may be picking up from the ground.
I think every strongman competition has to have at least one grip event.
Yeah.
To be a legit strongman competition, you gotta have some kind of. It can be farmer's frame, a hold, or whatever. It just has to have one grip.
I want to be able to get the platforms. I may build some platforms. Just to do it, but it's going to be. I'm going to have 3 people going at a time, so it'll go quick.
That'd be cool.
My plan is to go quick on this next year. Have multiple events.
Well, that makes it more fun to watch too. If you can do like some head-to-head stuff where people. So when I did Strongman Champions League in Finland, they actually call it races.
Yeah.
They don't call it like a strongman competition; they call it a race. And it's because over there was every event you had 2 lanes going, and it was 2 guys going head-to-head, like sprinting,
Yeah.
Because you had to like carry the farmers back and forth, or you had to like pick up sandbags, run with them, or whatever.
I may even have different divisions going head to head, just because I don't have enough duplicate equipment. But for the loading event, I may, because the stairs that we had for the power stairs, I'm going to use it for the loading event. So it's going to be like my thought process, and this may change again, some firsthand information that hasn't been released, is like a power stair for the first step. You go to the side, you do a keg load. You go to the back, do a sandbag load, and it gets. each implement's based off of the height, but it's like an 18-inch, 30-something inch, and a 54-inch, I think is the last backside. So for like the women, it's going to be, some of them it's going to be overhead press almost.
Yeah. Yes.
But I'll have
like Darren Sadler when he did Atlas Stone loads and World's Strongest Man. Do you remember Darren Sadler? He was a 5'8" World's Strongest Man competitor. And back then, the platforms for the Atlas Stones were a lot taller. Back then, he would like do the Atlas Stone. He'd like roll it up, and he would have it like this, and he'd have to like press it to get it up onto the platform. And he's actually one of the owners of like Giants Live,
Really?
And he helps with OSG. He might be like part owner of that, or I don't know how that's structured. But you got Lynn Morehouse who promotes it, but I think Colin Bryce and Darren Sadler are part owners of that. Because it's all through Giants Live, so because that's how official Strongman Games is tied in with Giants Live, and they're also part of World's Strongest Man. It's all kind of connected. That's why, like, if you're heavyweight, you want to go to OSG because you can if you can win that, you can get into Giants Live, and then you're pretty close to getting to World's Strongest Man.
Yeah, because Marcus Crowder was the one who didn't he win OSG and get invited to Worlds?
Yeah. But that's how like Nick Canby, Spencer Remick, Remick. Is it Tyler Cotton?
Tyler Cotton?
Tyler Cotton. There's a few guys. Like I think Wesley Claiborne.
Yeah. What's his name? I think he did eventually get invited. He won America's Strongest this past year. I was promoting him on our Alabama Strongest page because I was like, there's no reason why he shouldn't get invited. He won America's Strongest. Man.
Yeah.
What was his name? I'm blanking. It wasn't Marcus Crowder. It was, I feel so bad because I've talked to him so many times. I've even talked about him becoming a judge for Limit Breaker. My phone, I can't remember. But he won America's. He won America's. Him and Marcus Crowder were like back and forth on a couple of things. Lucas Hatton.
Okay.
Yeah, do you know that name?
Yeah, I know the name. I can't think of his face right now.
He won America's Strongest.
Okay.
And
he's got a big guy.
Yeah, and he was the one that came in third at
I can think
Europe's Arnold.
I think I see his face right now too.
Yeah, he went to Arnold's in Europe and came in third behind freaking Hafthor and World's Strongest Man, Mitchell Hooper. So it's Mitchell Hooper and Thor, and then him.
Yeah, wow.
And then he didn't get invited to Worlds until I think eventually he did get one at the last minute, but then it was a conflict with timing and stuff. He didn't have time to prep.
Yeah.
I don't know the details behind it, but I was as soon as he started putting out that he wanted to go to Worlds, I was promoting him. I was like, I would love to see him at Worlds. He had got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
But there's talking about the hype that we went way past that. But, everybody's got that. Oh, back in high school, I could do this. Well, high school, I was like 210, 220. My squat was like 670.
670.
Yes, I remember vividly. I did 675 because it was 315, 405, 495, 585, 685. Yep, 675. I did a squat, went down parallel, came back up. I was so hyped. I was like, let's go, throw another plate on. 765. And then I went down, got stuck. Like I came up like 3 inches and got stuck. And so I never found my exact max, but I know I was somewhere between 675 and 765.
Yeah.
That's a big window. But, as a 17-year-old in high school, like my thighs were only 6 inches smaller than my waist.
Yeah.
Each thigh. And in my head, I was like, I'm going to be World's Strongest Man. Like that was my goal growing up. From the time I was like 8 I peaked at 5'10".
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way.
Welcome to Weight Class Strongman.
I didn't know Weight Class Strongman existed.
I didn't know until I was 30,
Yeah, I was 32. Because I hosted my very first one thinking I was the first one in Alabama. And someone was like, no, Alabama's 10th year anniversary is coming up this year. I was like, no. I thought I was the first one.
I know, that's what we're trying to make the world more aware of. It's a fun sport. Like
it is.
It's the most fun I've ever had in anything, any kind of sport. So I think it's gonna keep growing.
Yeah,
that's a ton of weight to be done. But it's amazing how good teenagers can be in our sport.
Well, you got Christian Suggs.
Yeah,
just a
well, for instance, I competed against I think he's 18 now, but the guy who won Ultimate Strongman last year.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it last year, but there was a guy from Croatia who his name's Filip. He's Bunny of Steel. You can follow him.
I'll look him up.
He was only 17 and he won Ultimate Strongman World Championship.
Jeez.
And then he went to OSG and he finished in top 10. He made finals at OSG at 17. And
that's
then
like the strongest mullet.
I think this year he came in 4th at Ultimate. He's better, but I think there was a little bit more competition this year at Ultimate. We had Volker, me, and Derek came in top 3. But he's really good. He's just young, and he needs to keep working on his deadlift.
Yeah.
Because when you're young like that, deadlift is something that takes years to just get better.
Even when I was squatting in the 600s, my deadlift, I don't think I ever really was much more than 500.
Yeah.
Like my deadlift's always been horrible.
Deadlift will get better and better and better just over the years as you just.
I deadlifted more at 34 than I did at high school, and I definitely can't. My squat right now is about 5. Yeah. I can deadlift more than I can squat, which is what it should be.
Yeah, they're supposed to be close. I think they're supposed to be close to each other if you wear balance.
Yeah, my squat now is right at 500. The last time I maxed out, I hit 5, and then my deadlift was 530, 525, something like that.
Yeah,
I did them in the same day. Well, I know we're going up on 2 hours. I know you got kids.
We had too much fun. We've been drinking a lot.
Yeah, and
this Eagle Rare was pretty good.
It grew on me. The first time I had it, I wasn't a fan, but that's my second bottle, and I definitely am liking it more and more.
Oh yeah.
Now this one right here was phenomenal.
Yeah, that's
definitely
good stuff.
Definitely good stuff.
The Henry McKenna.
My brother-in-law bought me a bottle of Blanton's for my first daughter's birth.
Yeah,
and it was close to the date that she was born. It was like September. She was born in October, and a buddy of mine said, they bottled on her birthday because they bottle on certain days. I was like, hey, can you find me one? He found me a bottle that was bottled on her exact birthday.
That's cool.
So I got that. That's going to be
You gonna drink when she turns 21 or 18?
the one that was bottled on her birthday when she's 21.
You might as well do it before she goes to college because she's gonna drink in college.
True. I can't tell Alex about it. But
Teach her to drink responsibly.
the other one's going to be her wedding day. Like I'm saving it until she gets married. Hopefully that's in another 30 years.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, I think we normally finish this off with finishing our drink. So
yeah, cheers.
Cheers, man. Thank you for having me.